Tonight's story is for anyone carrying a heavy heart, an exhausted mind, or emotions they cannot quite put into words. So dim the lights, get comfortable, and let yourself rest for a little while. This is a gentle bedtime story about quiet kindness, small moments of peace, and the light we leave for one another in difficult seasons. And tonight's story is called The Porch Light That Never Went Out. The rain had stopped just before midnight. Soft drops still clung to the leaves outside the old house at the end of Willow Lane, where a single golden porch light glowed quietly in the darkness. Every night, without fail, the light stayed on. People in town noticed it. The baker noticed it while opening his shop before sunrise. The mail carrier noticed it while driving home late in the evening. Even the stray orange cat that wandered through the neighborhood seemed to pause beneath its warm glow before continuing on. But no one knew exactly why the porch light stayed on. Inside the house lived an elderly woman named Eleanor. She lived alone now. Her husband had passed away many winters earlier, and her children had grown up and moved far away. Yet every evening, just as the sky turned deep blue and the stars began to appear, Eleanor would step onto the porch with a soft knitted blanket wrapped around her shoulders. Then she would switch on the golden light. Not the bright white light beside the garage, not the kitchen light, only the small golden porch light. And afterward she would sit quietly in her rocking chair. Sometimes she listened to the wind move through the trees. Sometimes she watched the rain. Sometimes she simply closed her eyes and rested. One chilly Wednesday evening, a young woman named Clara walked past the house after finishing a long shift at the hospital. She was exhausted, the kind of exhausted that sleep alone could not fix. Her thoughts felt heavy. Her heart felt heavier. She had spent the entire day caring for others, while quietly ignoring how tired she truly was. As Clara walked home beneath the cool night sky, she noticed the warm porch light glowing through the darkness. Something about it made her slow down. The house looked peaceful, safe, still. Eleanor looked up from her rocking chair and smiled gently. "Long day?" she asked. Clara laughed softly. "Is it that obvious?" "A tired heart always walks a little slower," Eleanor replied. For a moment Clara hesitated. Then Eleanor motioned toward the empty chair beside her. "You can sit for a while if you'd like." Clara normally would have declined. She had emails to answer, laundry waiting, dishes in the sink, a dozen things still unfinished. But for some reason, she sat down. The porch creaked softly beneath the rocking chairs. The cool night breeze carried the scent of rain and lavender. Somewhere far away, crickets sang quietly beneath the stars. For several minutes, neither of them spoke. And strangely, Clara felt her breathing slow. Finally, she glanced toward the glowing porch light. "Why do you leave it on every night?" she asked. Eleanor smiled. "When my husband was alive," she said softly, "he used to tell me that people carry invisible storms inside them. Fear, loneliness, grief, worry. And sometimes all a person needs is one small light to remind them they aren't alone in the dark." Clara looked quietly toward the road. "So the light is for other people?" Eleanor nodded. "For anyone who needs it." The word settled gently into Clara's heart. She realized she could not remember the last time she had truly rested. Not just physically, but emotionally. The world had taught her to keep moving, keep fixing, keep carrying, keep surviving. But sitting beneath that warm porch light, she remembered something important. Peace was not laziness. Rest was not weakness. And being tired did not mean she was failing. The porch light flickered softly beside them, golden, warm, steady. For the first time in weeks, Clara felt calm. Not because her problems had disappeared, not because life had suddenly become easy, but because for a few quiet moments, she stopped carrying everything alone. Eventually Clara stood to leave. Before walking away, she turned back toward Eleanor. "Thank you," she whispered. Eleanor smiled warmly. "Whenever life feels heavy," she said, "remember that even the smallest light can guide someone home." Clara nodded. Then she continued down the quiet street beneath the stars. And as she walked, the porch light continued glowing behind her. Warm, steady, unchanging. A quiet reminder in the darkness that hope still existed, that peace was still possible, and that no one was ever truly alone. That night, before Clara fell asleep, she left the small lamp beside her bedroom window glowing softly, just in case someone else needed a light too. And maybe tonight, as you rest beneath the quiet sky, you can remember this too. Even on difficult days, even during heavy seasons, there is still light waiting for you. Good night.